Now, when we are saying the VLOOKUP and NA, it means that the data you are looking for, it does not exist in the cells. Now, if you know your lookup value exists, but you want to hide the error, if the lookup cell is blank, you can use an if statement. Now, we talked about the if statement. Now, in this case, we will wrap our existing VLOOKUP formula like in this cell D43. So we have our D43 cell here. So you see it is giving us an error, that is a null, right? Null. There is no value here in the cell that we are looking for. Now we come up with an if statement. We are saying that if C43, that is cell C43 here, this cell C43, it is empty or it is blank and it doesn't have any criteria, then we look up at C43. Now this C43, we look here, and then C37, we look at the C37. From C37 to D41, we are looking at this range from C37 to D41. Then how many columns are we looking for? We are looking in 2 columns. Then the return is false. Now we have embedded an if statement inside a VLOOKUP. That's why we are having two closing bracket here. So it says if C43 equals nothing, that is when we have nothing inside here, and then return nothing, then we are returning nothing here. Now the if statement is saying if you have nothing here, return nothing. Now otherwise return a VLOOKUP results. So otherwise we are returning these VLOOKUP results. Note that the second closing parenthesis at the end of the formula, this closes the if statement. Now the if statement closes first, and then we are closing the we are closing the VLOOKUP first, and then we are closing the whole as with an if statement. So when I click on this formula here, that is what you can see. This is now the VLOOKUP. But this VLOOKUP, it is bringing an error because we don't have an if statement here. But if we input an if statement in the end at the start here, now let me say if now the C43 is equals to, it is giving us nothing, then also we return nothing. Okay, now if we return nothing, then we have to close our if statement here because we have introduced an if statement. It is still giving us an error. Let's see if it is having nothing or it has something. Sorry, I put a space here where it is not supposed to be. Let me see if that space is the one that is bringing an error. Okay, yeah, that is it. It is not giving us an error because we have put an if statement. The if statement is saying if C43, this C43 is blank, then return a blank. Otherwise, you return the value. Now, in C43, let us put something like bread. Now, you see, bread is here. Bread is this in this range, right? Sorry, bread is in this range, so it is not going to return nothing because the bread is there and the value of bread is 50. But if we cancel everything, it will reproduce nothing because there is no results to give. But if it is a blank, it gives a blank. So that is when we are talking about the VLOOKUP and the if statement. Now, let's put a VLOOKUP here. Sorry, let me just put here donuts. And we want to look for the value of donuts is equals to VLOOKUP VLOOKUP is here. Okay, sorry. Then what are we looking for? We are looking for donuts. Where? Here. How many columns? 2. So we return a false statement. So you see, it will give us null, right? Because I think donuts here, it is written. I don't know if it is my spelling or it has a space. Yeah, I think it doesn't have a space. You see now it produces 100. We have looked up for donuts in this table, and now it is giving us 100. It's now giving us 100. But now if we give nothing, it gives us an error because there is no value we are looking for in C45. But now we can give it an if statement that we are saying. If now, which cell are we talking about? C40. Our cell is C40 what? Sorry. Our cell here is C45 is equals to nothing, then return nothing, and then we continue with what? With our VLOOKUP. Sorry. Then VLOOKUP that, and then we finish with another bracket. Sorry, I'm having so much typos here. So we close with another bracket. Sorry. Now you see it is giving us nothing, it doesn't show the error. But now if I put the cakes, it will produce us the 50. That is when to hide the error. Now that is to hide the error. Now we can continue and see if you are not sure your lookup value exists, but you still want to suppress the error, you can use an error handling function called if error in G43. Now, if we have an error, then VLOOKUP, then you bring the blank statement. Now, if error says if the VLOOKUP returns a valid result, then display that. Otherwise, display nothing. So let's put that if error here. Now you see it is if error, then VLOOKUP in this cell, we are looking for this range, then 2 false, and then at the end of it, we produce what we are calling what? A blank canvas here, so that it produces a blank here. It's the same way of you are hiding the error. If you don't want to use an if statement, you can use an if error statement to hide the error that you are getting. So in this example, we can use this if error, so equals to if error, right? Then we do what? We do the VLOOKUP, then bracket. Which cell are we looking for? This cell. Then which range? We are looking at this range. How many columns? 2, then false. Sorry for the noises. Okay, I think here we need to have an equal sign. Yes. Okay. If error VLOOKUP C44. Okay. At the end here, we need to insert what to display. So at the end here, we will insert what to display. That display nothing. What is the problem here? Sorry. Let me just do away with this formula first. So we're having this formula here. If you're having an error, then VLOOKUP, this is then true, false, then okay, sorry. So let's do this here. If error, then VLOOKUP, which range are we, which cell are we looking for? This cell, comma, which range from this side to this side, comma, how many columns? 2, and we produce what we, if it is an actual value, then false. Then we close the lookup. Then we are looking for to produce this. So you see it is producing an error. There is no error, but if I put here pies, it will produce results here. So that is when you are also wanting to hide the error with the VLOOKUP.